Welcome, Diecast fans. I'm Tom Spinners Watson.
And I'm Frank the Guru Gibbs.
And welcome to rounds 5 and 6 of the Gravity Chaos Rallycross competition.
There's been some great racing and great action so far, and I'm expecting more tonight. Although, of everything I'm expecting, I'm not expecting Mr. Dark's time to be taken down because we haven't seen anybody come close to them yet.
That's true. There have been some quick laps, but nothing quite like Mr. Dark or Arlo. Both of them very, very tight overall. Alright, tonight's drivers, we've got Sam Hall, Dusty Miles, James Ironbeard and Dutch Vandershift. And you can see there their points coming into this round, the weight of the car and the weight distribution.
Sam Hall's consistent results at Gravity Chaos really made the difference, scoring 44 and 49. I wonder if he's got it in him tonight to get that sort of a score here.
Well, it's quite a different track, so I guess we'll have to find out. Dusty Miles getting a little bit loose going over that initial jump. And it looks like James Ironbeard might be What is going on early on? Sam Hall just cruising away. Oh, the billboard is down. What happened there?
Oh yeah, I meant to tell you about that, Spinners. The Bogans got a little bit loose last night and they did start to wreck the place a bit.
How very Bogan of them.
I thought I'd got them all, but I promise I'll get it ready for next time.
Sam Hall leading Dusty Miles down. Dusty trying to put the moves on in that last straight, but gets it wrong, gets a little bit loose, but at least he crosses the finish line.
It was very sad for James Ironbeard and Dutch Vandershift. If we watch them come down the dipper there, oh, Dutch got pushed sideways by James, and I think they just got tangled up, and that was it.
But that is a perfect start for Sam Hall, racking on full 13 points. And Dusty Miles, after a bit of a shaky start, manages to pull off second place, picks up 10 points. It's a good start from both of them, and unfortunately James Ironbeard and Dutch Vandershift picking up only 1 point apiece.
Yeah, those boys are really going to have to lift their game. You're going to need a lot more points than that if you want any chance of competing, and especially because you're starting so far down the field in terms of points overall anyway.
So Dusty Miles in lane 1, James Ironbeard next to him in 2, Dutch Vandershift in 3, and Sam Hall, our current leader, out in lane number 4. Dusty leads him into the Devil Staircase, but he goes down. Obviously the pressure was too much for him. Dutch Vandershift into the lead now, and he has put his foot down. He just left the field there. And I'm not sure what happened to Sam Hall and James Ironbeard. I hope they haven't tangled up.
I think Sam's far too much of a professional to have let something like that slow him down. He'll want to get as many points on the board as he can. And look, they're both in the background.
Well, both those drivers will be happy about that, but Dutch Vandershift clocks up the win. James Ironbeard for second, Sam Hall for third, and unfortunately Dusty Miles down by the fornicator's sign.
That was very disappointing. He came down, just got his wheel up on that sidewall after that second drop at the Devil Staircase, and that just flipped him up on his side. So a disappointing 1 point for him that time, but James Ironbeard cranking out 10, and congratulations Dutch Vandershift getting a maximum 13. And as I said, Sam Hall just racking up those points race after race.
Yeah, we've said that all along. It is all about consistency in a competition like this where there are no eliminations. You really want to make sure you're crossing the finish line every time and getting past as many checkpoints as possible.
Oh, it looked like Dutch got a little bit wiggly going over that jump. Oh, and James Ironbeard's gone down now.
Sam Hall not one to let that opportunity go, jumps into the lead and stretching quite a distance between him and Dutch Vandershift there by the look of it.
I must say, the longer wheelbase cars like these BMW M3 wagons do seem to be pretty stable on the track, and Sam Hall here, with just a flawless drive all the way to the finish, he is going to rack up another win, and that's another 13 points for his overall total.
Oh, and Dutch Vandershift is down. What happened to him?
Well, I don't think he got airborne, because how would he have parked up there? And speaking of parked up, there's James Ironbeard on his side at the bottom of the Devil Staircase, and Dusty Miles parked up under the overbridge.
That's definitely a strange place for him to be parked up, but you see Dutch getting ahead there. James Ironbeard goes over, and then, oh, it just looked like Dusty Miles went sideways. And Dutch Vandershift just slid up the mountain on his roof.
I had such high hopes for Dutch Vandershift here. I thought he was going to finish another race, but unfortunately he didn't. And James Ironbeard, disappointing for him once again.
And I'd say Dusty Miles won't be too happy with that either.
You know what? I've got a theory. There's 3 types of men in the world. There's what I'd call A men, B men, and C men.
We don't have time for your wild theories, Frank. We've got to get back to the racing. We've got Dutch Vandershift in lane 1. Next to him is Sam Hall, Dusty Miles in 3, and James Ironbeard in 4. And Dutch Vandershift got up on the sidewall there. Dusty Miles flies out into the lead miles ahead of everybody else. And it looks like he is making up for lost time there. Sam Hall in second place at the moment by the look of it. Dusty Miles keeps it clean, takes the Joker lane. If he can get past the finish line, he's going to take maximum points here. Sam Hall trying to haul him in, but I think he's going to run out of road.
That was a very nice way for Dusty Miles to finish, and you're right, Sam Hall was right on his tail. And who's coming down third here? Oh, it's Dutch Vandershift. He made it.
Oh, and unfortunately, James Ironbeard crashes out again. That's such a disappointing run for him.
But let's just focus on Dutch here. Look at him, nose it in, gets up on the sidewall, look like he's going to join Sam Hall, and then he yanks the handbrake so he doesn't go over the sidewall, runs it in reverse, and he still manages to pick up a third place run. It's awesome.
And what happened with James Ironbeard? Oh, he just went completely sideways. He turned left when he should have turned right.
I guess he took a calculated risk on a Scandinavian flick, but maybe he's just not that good at maths.
Well, Sam Hall, a fantastic round, 45 points on the board overall. That is a great effort from him, and that moves him well into the number one spot as we go to the overall leaderboard. 138 points. He is really sending a message to Big Cat, currently the leader coming into our round with 94 points. Sam was 1 point behind him. He is putting the pressure on Big Cat now.
I guess we'll just have to see next time if Big Cat can be as consistent as Sam Hall.
Back when you used to work the land, we were as strong as an ox and tough as nails. It was all thanks to that one special drink. And now you can get all that power and protein-packed goodness for your workouts. That'll leave you with a smile on your face. Drink Bull's Milk, maximum protein in every mouthful.
Now, and more bad news for James Ironbeard. He's been eliminated from the Best in Show, but any of the other 7 drivers, please leave a comment with either the driver name or the car number or both as your vote for Best in Show.
And remember, it doesn't matter how good they are on the track, it's all about looks.
All right, Group 6, we see Randy Sentley, Flying McBrien, Giorgio, and Deacon hit the track.
Now, Deacon does hold quite a unique record. He is the slowest driver ever to complete a lap on the track. His best time was a 37.744.
That's all right, though. There's plenty of time for redemption. Randy Sentley, Flying McBrien out to an early lead. Randy goes down as well. It seems like a lot of drivers having trouble with that inside lane on the Devil's Staircase, but Flying McBrien now all over the tail end of Giorgio.
Flying McBrien does have the heaviest weight over his rear axle of anybody in the field at 64% over that rear wheelbase.
That's definitely a lot of weight in the trunk. And Giorgio goes sideways, allows Flying McBrien to slip right past him in that final straight, hands away vital points.
I think Giorgio was so worried about Flying McBrien, he wasn't watching where he's going.
And talking about watching where you're going, Deacon stopping before the first checkpoint. Randy Sentley here just bouncing sideways, coming down the Devil's Staircase and blowing it. But how about this overtake from Flying McBrien?
Yeah, he absolutely faked out Giorgio, swerved to the right, swerved to the left. Giorgio overcompensated, bounced off the wall, and a beautiful overtake by Flying McBrien picks up 12 points. Giorgio picks up 11.
Now, both of these drivers have got a lot of work to do if they want to get to the top of the field. There's a maximum 52 points available per round, and they're going to need every one of them if they're going to try and catch up to Sam Hall.
So Flying McBrien now into lane number 1, and Giorgio right next to him. I'm expecting a bit of a Donnybrook between those two as we get underway.
Well, it's a clean start so far. Flying McBrien with a slight lead. Both drivers keep it together down the Devil's Staircase, but it looked like Giorgio may have had a bit of a problem there. Randy slamming into the back end of Flying McBrien. Giorgio in third place currently, and Deacon bringing up the rear. Hopefully he can make it to the finish line this time.
Randy pushing pretty hard here. He tries to get up the main lane as Flying McBrien goes through the Joker lane, but I don't think he's going to be able to catch him.
No, that is all Flying McBrien, so he chalks up 2 wins in a row. Randy Sentley second, Giorgio third, and we've lost Deacon.
As I said earlier, the long wheelbase cars seem to be doing really well, but those short wheelbase Subarus in particular just seem to spin around too easily on the track.
Now, Deacon does pick up 6 points. He crossed 5 checkpoints and took the Joker lane overall, but the star of that race had to be Flying McBrien. 2 wins from 2 starts. That's a great effort. And Randy Sentley actually pulling out a second place. That helps him a lot.
Yeah, there's still hope for Randy yet. He is starting in lane 3, which traditionally has been pretty quick. We got Deacon in 2, Giorgio starting in 1, and Flying McBrien out on the wings in lane number 4.
Oh, and down goes Deacon. He doesn't even cross checkpoint 1 again. And Fly McBride put the moves on Randacelli, trying to get up inside of Giorgio. There's 3 cars going into the forestry, and Fly McBride gets pushed to the front. Giorgio right on his tail now.
Those boys were going so hard.
Oh, Fly McBride with a big accident there. No airtime, so not even a great show for the Bogans, just a big crash.
But Giorgio making the most of this, he manages to chalk up his first win, and Randacelli picks up another second place. But disappointing there from Fly McBride.
And talking of disappointing, Deacon, what a rough start he's having.
As we go back to the replay, you'll see he lands, goes sideways and just bounces off the wall and turns into a complete turtle. But how about this move from Fly McBride? He did everything he could to get up the inside. Giorgio wasn't going to let him go easy, but then Randacelli comes in, pushes him, and Fly McBride manages to keep his foot pinned to the floor, but unfortunately should have left it going into that corner.
Yeah, this is definitely not a track that you can just go flat out the entire time. You need to lift going into some of those corners. But overall, Fly McBride with 90 points still holds the lead. Randacelli in 87, Giorgio with 83, and Deacon all the way back on 34. Let's hope he can get some points this time.
Well, he's starting in lane number 1 now. If he's going to do it, this has to be the one.
So we've got Randacelli in lane 2, Giorgio in lane 4, and Fly McBride in number 3, and Fly McBride and Randacelli out to an early lead.
Another tasty overtake
Fly
here.
McBride gets the jump down the highway into the forestry, Randacelli following him in. And then I think it's Giorgio in 3rd at the moment. Oh my goodness, off goes Fly McBride.
Now that was a show for the Bogans. They'll be loving that one.
And that now leaves Randy fighting off Giorgio for the lead. Giorgio trying everything he can in that final straight, but he's not going to make it.
And speaking of not making it, Deacon pulls out too early again.
Freezing.
And Fly McBride, at least he's parked up by the rescue truck. It means they don't have to go far. But check out the air here. He got flipped right around. Oh, sweet. And that Bogan baby got biffed as well.
You really don't like that kid, do you?
That kid's like a pimple on prom night, always showing up where he's not wanted.
All right. Looking at the final scores, Randacelli picks up another win and overall manages to clock up 100 points. That is a great effort from him. 34 points for the round. But Giorgio pulls out 43 points, lifts him from 50 to 93. That is a great effort.
No doubt, but if you look at EP Videos, who was the leader coming into the rounds at Chaos Canyon, he's got 94 points, and then you've got Giorgio and Fly McBride on 93. So EP Videos hasn't even had their second run yet, and they're still ahead of those boys. So if they're gonna win, they really need everybody to crash out from now on, and those two to pick up everything.
So in round 3, we've only got groups 7 and 8 to go. Is Big Cat going to be able to catch or beat Sam Hall? He has got a huge lead over the rest of the field.
Well, as we've seen so far, anything can happen.
There is plenty of action to come, and of course remember to vote in the comments for Best in Show. Alright, that's enough for us tonight. I'm Tom Spanners Watson, he's Frank the Guru Gibbs. We look forward to seeing you next time.